It's time to get excited. Fluval have released a brand new filter, the Fluval FX2, and it's basically just been released. I'm lucky enough to have managed to get myself one, and we're going to be doing an unboxing in this video. We're going to be taking it out and we're going to be looking at what you get inside of the box. Before we do that, we're going to have a look at the box itself, because there's so much information to be gleaned from this wonderful packaging. If you've never seen a Fluval FX filter before, then you are in for a treat. The Fluval FX range is, in my opinion, the best range of aquarium filtration you can possibly hope to own. So let us inquire as to what makes these filters so good. Firstly, the front of the box. Clearly we can see now the power of this filter, up to 750 litres and 1800 litres an hour, or for you US guys, 475 US gallons per hour. So a pretty meaty filter. We've got 5-stage filtration. We've got a really cool basket in basket media tray, or as I like to call it, the Corb in Corb design. And it's not lying when it says high capacity, low maintenance. I've got an FX4, which is the bigger brother of this filter, on another aquarium, and I barely do anything to it. But anyway, back to the FX2. You can see here, smart pump technology. Have you ever got to a filter where it's really hard to prime? Well, this smart pump technology solves that issue. On the other side, we've got more information about the smart pump technology: auto start, self-priming, quiet operation, and energy efficient. If it's anything like the FX4 and 6 as well, it'll also turn off every 24 hours to purge any built up air within your system. We've got AquaStop click fit valves, stops things leaking basically, and makes it easy to remove your filter from your aquarium cabinet or wherever you've put it. Self-priming, rubber feet, stackable media trays, twin output nozzles, and a lovely telescopic intake. You can see here all the different types of media you get inside. The top of the box shows us many important things, but the most important is actually the dimensions of this filter. You can see 34 centimeters total across, 42 centimeters top to bottom, obviously not including the pipe work coming off the top there. So significantly smaller than the FX4 and the FX6, which means it can fit into most cabinets now, which is amazing news. Also, we have a 3-year plus an extra 2-year guarantee if you register it. So that just shows you how much confidence Fluval have got in this filter. And finally, a little bit about the media itself. All the media is included within this filter, and you can see here how it is stacked within the filter itself. But you didn't come here to watch me read things off a box. You want to see what's in the box, and that is what we're going to do right now. As always with my unboxings, I never look at the product beforehand. I feel it's way more fairer if we do it together. So here we are, the first ever opening of my Fluval FX2. What do we get inside? A handy setup guide. Very nice. If you struggle setting up your filtration, this is going to tell you exactly how to do it. Or you can watch my setup guide video, which I'm going to be doing shortly after making this video. The same again in multiple languages. Inside we have lots of cardboard. I was expecting some kind of confetti to pop out, but clearly not. Moving that away, packaging is important obviously to keep the product safe and secure within its box. We have the filter itself. Immediately, it is definitely a lot smaller than the FX4. I'm going to unpack everything out of this box, put it on my desk, and we can have a closer look. This is what's inside the box. Kind of what we expected really, isn't it? But that's not the important point. The important point is how cute this filter looks. The bigger FX4 and FX6 are quite humongous. This is clearly a lot smaller than those two models. I'm going to get into more detail on the comparison between those filters in my next video, which will be a full-on review of this. But for now, this is a lot smaller than an FX4 or 6, which means it's great if you want to stick it inside of your cabinet, which I think is the reason why this filter exists. Obviously, we have our pipe work. It's a bigger pipe work than the 07 range of filtration. This is quite a meaty bit of pipe work, very strong and corrugated. If I move that to the side for the minute, we'll have a look at our bits and pieces. In this box we should have our AquaStop valves and all the other parts. We do indeed. So this is the telescopic water intake, and I like these because obviously you can extend them. In the older version of the FX filters, they didn't have this. You had to cut your pipe work manually, which gave you only 1 or 2 opportunities to do it properly. On the back we have our suction cups, very, very strong, and this can of course come apart should you wish to do some cleaning on it, which you might need to. Moving through, we have our 2 AquaStop valves. These allow you to adjust the water flow. As you can see, you just twist that handle, goodbye, you twist that handle and it will reduce the flow, and obviously if you turn it completely, you stop the flow, and then you can remove it along with your pipe work from the filter. We also have some other suction cups and some Jubilee clips, which allow you to obviously fit your pipe work and all your fittings nice and snugly. And then we have these, which is arguably some of the most useful things that Fluval make, and these allow you to put pipe work over the rim of your glass. Interestingly, this is an old style design. They have changed these in the 07 range, but I was a bit annoyed by that because the 07 range clips aren't as good as these, and I'm happy to see that they're still using this design on the FX filter series, but they never used to have this elastic band, so I'm not entirely sure what that's for. Maybe I'll have to read the manual and work that one out. Putting that box to one side, we have this other part, which includes your manual and your warranty. So you got a free 2 years plus extended warranty should you wish to register your product, which I recommend you do. Not that I have any issues with Fluval products, but you never know, do you? And we have our full manual here. Let's see if we can work out what that little elastic band is for. Well, they're just there to help with a bit of friction to hold it against the glass. If your glass is too thick, you just change them over to some little rubber suction cups. One thing I have found in here, which is really, really useful, is an entire parts list for this filter with all the codes for the FX2, 4 and 6. So other suppliers, when you need a spare part, it's an absolute nightmare trying to get some parts, but here we have all the codes that are relevant to the part, and you just ring up the supplier or your fish shop. So I need part A20228 and I need 5 of them please, and job is a good one. So really good effort there, Fluval, making everybody's life a lot easier. And finally in the box we have our double outlet or double duct bill. You can fully adjust this, put it in any direction you want. You can have one spraying up, one spraying down, and so on and so forth, and gives you that good coverage of flow throughout your aquarium. Let's get this out and have a look what's inside. So if you've never seen an FX2 filter before, they're a little bit different to your standard external canister filter. Firstly, we have this way of securing the lid. It is a really good way of securing your lid very, very tightly, and obviously because there are 6 of them, gives you a very tight closure and even closure around the lid. We'll just take them off though, all the way around. They do release from the body sometimes, so you have to be careful not just to lose them on your floor when you're doing your maintenance. And we'll open the lid up. So obviously we have the different sections of the lid, the intake and the outlet. One thing you eagle-eyed viewers might have noticed is this part of the lid. It isn't stated within the instruction manual exactly what this is, and I'm just going to take a guess at it, that this is here to capture and release the air build-up when it does its purge, because this pump on here, the smart motor hiding around the corner, will turn off if it's anything like the FX4 and the FX6. Every 24 hours it turns off for about a minute, allows air to accumulate in the lid, and then it will blow it out, and you can see that it's connected to the outtake here. So I'm imagining that that's what it's for, and it's a very, very important and also something that I don't think any other external canister filter has. So really, really cool little thing you might just miss owning one of these filters. So on my lid, which is a surprise, the O-ring is already installed in place. Previous Fluval filters I've bought had the O-ring in a little bag with some silicone grease to keep it lubricated, and you had to install it yourself. So that's something different to what I was expecting. Onto the filter itself, inside of it we have stop. before returning this product to the store, please try and sort it out with us over the phone, because we get so many customers that are using our product wrong. Please just give us a call before sending the filter back. Or that's basically how I read that. Into the filter, into the guts, we have our trays. This is another interesting feature that a lot of other filters, or in fact no other filters that I know of, have. We've got rings within rings, media within media. The way that you remove this is the little red handles. I'm going to have to put the camera down because although I am super powered, I haven't got 3 arms. This is the media tray, or media extravaganza, and it's very similar to the FX4 in the fact that it's got 2 layers. The FX6 I believe has got an extra layer. Obviously this is more compact than either of those 2 filters, and here are the little red handles. So they stay in those little grooves and they allow you to remove all of the filtration in one go, different to a normal filter. Let's take them away and we'll have a look what you get media wise. 2 baskets, starting with the top layer. We've got a bio sponge, and beneath that we have some bio media, and then we've got our outer rings of coarse sponge. So that alone is more than you'd get in a regular filter as it is. But wait, there's more. We have another layer of biomedia. We've got some more coarse sponge. Obviously this is more for the mechanical filtration. And below that we have a media sock. So these, they don't technically need to give you these because as it stands there's nothing to put in here. But I guess the hope is you go out and buy some Fluval media and stick it in these bags. But it's nice to have the bags for free because otherwise you'd have to buy your bag as well, and most people are going to be running some carbon or some phosphate, nitrate, etc. granules in a filter like this. So having the bags for free isn't, well, you know, part of the package at least, is a nice little touch. And then we have this sponge here, which is basically a pre-filter, stops as much of the rubbish getting into your biomedia as possible. So I think you'll agree, a nice selection of media, and of course there's a lot of it. Given that the flow rate is 1800 litres, you can see here that this is a lot more meaty than you'd expect from similar rated filters. But we'll get onto that again in another video. We'll just put the media back in, we'll close her up, and we'll have a look at the rest of the filter. One thing a lot of people worry about with filters, especially if they're going to be in their front room, is noise. So there's 2 noise mitigation things on this filter. Firstly, we have rubber dampening feet, which obviously will help reduce the noise. Secondly, we have a very, very quiet pump. I'll attest, if this is anything like the FX4 or the FX6, this is the quietest pump you have ever not heard. Well, I haven't removed the pipe work yet because it's just pipe work, but we'll have a little shifty at it and you can see just how much you get. If you wanted a massive free elastic band, you've got one. This feels like some sort of seal from somewhere else, and our huge bit of pipe work. I might have to just step back a little bit here. You can see the pipe work. But how much pipe work is there, I hear you ask? Considering that this is all the pipe work, you need to cut it in half or whatever to make it fit. I think there's around 4 meters here, about 6.5 feet, because the maximum head height of this filter is 2 meters, and I would imagine they'll give you enough pipe work for that. There we have it, the FX2, unboxed, completely, looked at. What do you think about this filter? I'm obviously going to be doing more content on this. My next video is going to be a full review. We have touched on some things in this video, but it does deserve a full review. We will, within that video, compare it to the FX6 and the FX4. So if you're interested in that comparison, we'll be doing that too. And then after that, we'll be doing a setup video because I have an aquarium which needs a big filter to go on it. My Fluval shaker desperately needs this. So stay tuned. I'll be doing that in the next week or so. Let me know in the comments below if there's anything you want me to add to that video, anything you're interested in, and also what do you think of the FX2 and how do you think you could use it in your own aquarium. So thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed it, leave a like and also subscribe if you are not a subscriber already. Well, once again, thanks for watching and happy fish keeping.